Oh, yeah. Okay, so we can.
Yes, a big thank you. A big thank you to Rafael Atias, who is a graduate of our film program and program director in film. We invite you all to come forward if you'd like. Come closer. So I just want to say again, a thank you to Rafael Atias, graduate of our film program and program director in film. We don't often have the opportunity to recognize the art practices and creativity of our staff. But in addition to Rafael's leadership in the film program, he is also a filmmaker and an accomplished musician and luthier. Special thanks to Rafael for sharing his talents with us for this very special event. My name is Mary Kim Arnold, and I'm honored to serve as VCFA's Dean of the Faculty and Academic Affairs. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all together for the official opening of the Winter 2025 residency and our inaugural residency on the campus of the California Institute of the Arts. Thank you to our partners and hosts here at CalArts, in particular to CalArts President Ravi Rajan, Provost Tracy Costantino, and Chief Financial Officer Lori Hussein. And we will be recognizing more of our CalArts colleagues later in the program. As all of you know, today marks an exciting and meaningful moment in the history of VCFA for very many reasons, and it is a joy to be able to share this with you all. But first, I want to make space for two practices that have become part of our beginning our residency time together. Katie Rasmussen, whose official title is Dean of Students, but we all know that that reflects only a tiny fraction of what Katie does and means to VCFA, will read our land acknowledgement statement, and then we will hear our statement on community values. Each convocation, we invite members of our community to participate in this reading. Tonight, we will hear from our extraordinary graduate assistants. Thanks in advance to Karis Rogerson, Chanel Dubovsky, Jeremy Nelson, Mo Charles, Anita Pasner, Suma Subramaniam, and Mary Beef. And now I turn it over to Katie.
Thank you, Mary Kim. I'll take one moment before I begin to say, for the folks who are lingering in the back, that there are chairs in the front. So if you would like to speak, there are some chairs still here, or it's not speak, sit. If you would like to sit, I'm going to speak. If you would like to sit, I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to just come on up and fill in some seats up here. Because you don't have to stand in the back the whole time unless you want to. All right. The administrative offices of Vermont College of Fine Arts sit in Indakina, the ancestral and unceded land of the traditional caretakers of Vermont lands and waters, the Western Abenaki people. As guests in Indakina, we recognize the dispossession and invisibilization of Indigenous communities and their resiliency. We strengthen and celebrate our relationship with Indakina by honoring its past and finding our place in its future. We offer our respect and gratitude to the traditional caretakers for their stewardship by seeking to uplift Indigenous peoples, cultures, and arts. The CalArts main campus sits on the unceded ancestral lands of the Chagwayavitam, the people of Chagwayanga, whose present-day descendants are citizens of the Fernandino Tataviam Band of Mission Indians. They have been here for millennia and will forever call this place home. Through meaningful partnership and collaboration, CalArts is committed to lifting up their stories, culture, and community. We make these statements to acknowledge that the lands we are on have always been Indigenous homelands, and that the dispossession of Indigenous nations from their lands is ongoing. We make these statements as a reminder that we are all connected to the land, to the earth, the water, the air, and to each other. We make these statements not as an end to themselves, but as a call to actions that we can take to support Indigenous people and nations in our home states and beyond. As individuals, we each have our own relationship to the lands we occupy and to the Indigenous stewards of those lands. We support all efforts to continue to learn about the land we live on, the issues facing Indigenous people in our home communities, and the actions we can all take toward liberation and peace.
As a global community of artists continuously redefining what it means to be an arts college, the Vermont College of Fine Arts community has come together to articulate this statement of values on diversity, equity, and inclusion. These values express our dedication to the tenets and ethics of social, economic, and environmental justice, anti-racism, LGBTQ+ inclusivity, and religious inclusivity. We reject all forms of othering and oppression, including colonialism, misogyny, ableism, ageism, classism, nationalism, paternalism, and white supremacy.
The arts are central to the human experience and have the ability to not only reflect reality, but create it. We acknowledge that too often the histories of arts disciplines have been presented as canonical monolithic narratives constructed and controlled by dominant voices that systematically exclude and marginalize other cultures and peoples. We seek to discover, celebrate, and learn from a plurality of traditions and movements as we renounce singular canons and the biases underlying them. In this way, we aspire to inform richer, more encompassing futures that accurately reflect the varied peoples these disciplines serve, as well as the varied peoples who practice them.
We believe that everyone should have access to the opportunities and tools for expression and communication afforded by the fine arts, and that society is best served when all voices are heard and valued.
We believe in the fundamental value of every person and recognize that each person in our community belongs fully as an equal. Diversity in all its forms creates a strong, healthy, and productive environment that reflects the world we live in and the reality we aspire to create. Each member of our community has both rights and responsibilities. Among these is the right to be treated with respect at all times and the responsibility to treat others with respect at all times. Along with that, of educating ourselves about what this means. It is not the responsibility of any individual from a marginalized group to educate others about their experience.
We honor the agency of each person to be seen and heard, to defend their rights, to think critically and independently, and to uphold the responsibilities to the community and its individual members. The possibility of disagreement between individuals or groups is intrinsic to the exchange of ideas, and the exchange of ideas is fundamental to teaching and learning. We are committed to the principle that disagreement and respect can and must remain compatible. As an embodiment of these values, we are committed to open and ongoing dialogue.
People learn in different ways, and we strive to support each learner on their unique journey. We believe in an education model where all community members, faculty, staff, and students actively contribute to both teaching and learning, even as we acknowledge the inherent power differential within every teaching and learning environment.
We value a workplace where all staff members actively contribute to the mission of the college. While the roles of staff members may differ, we value them equally. We welcome all who agree to abide by these values as we look forward to listening, learning, and growing together in pursuit of an ever more diverse, equitable, and inclusive community.
So as you know, today we have the great honor and privilege to install VCFA's third president. While Andrew Ramsamy hardly needs introduction, you may not yet have met his son, AJ Ramsamy. The Ramsamy family is joining us here from their home in Arizona, and I would now like to invite little Andrew to the stage to read the poem, "We Are of a Tribe" by Arizona State Poet Laureate Alberto Rios.
We are a tribe by Alberto Rios. We plant seeds in the ground and dreams in the sky, hoping that someday the roots of one will meet the upstretched limbs of another. It has not happened yet. We share the sky, all of us, the whole world. Together, we are a tribe of eyes that look upward, even as we stand on uncertain ground. The earth beneath us moves, quiet and wild, its boundaries shifting, its muscles wavering. The dream of the sky is indifferent to all of this. Its boundaries shift, impervious to borders, fences, reservations. The sky is our common home, the place we all live. There we are in the world. The dream of the sky requires no passport. Blue will not be fenced. Blue will not be a friend. Look up, stay a while. Let your breathing slow. Know that you always have a home here. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the VCFA community, from students, faculty, staff, alumnus, and friends. It is an honor to speak with you, each and every one of you, and it's wonderful to be here with you tonight. My name is Chabon Marshall, and I have the esteemed privilege of serving as the Vice Chair of the Vermont College of Fine Arts Board of Trustees. As many of you will remember, VCFA embarked on a historic affiliation with California Institute of the Arts, better known as CalArts, in 2024, an affiliation that has brought us all together on this campus and in this room. Being here today would not have been possible without the support shown by each of you or the visionary leadership of Andrew Ramsamy. Now, some of you may be wondering, why is the Vice Chair of the Board up here talking to us? I'm here because today is another defining moment in VCFA's history. Today, we formally recognize Andrew Ramsamy as Vermont College of Fine Arts' third president, following in the footsteps of leaders who have helped shape the institution's remarkable legacy of creativity and innovation. Andrew's tenure as interim president began at a time of significant transition for VCFA. His leadership was instrumental in guiding the college through the complex process of divesting from its Montpelier campus while embracing a low-residency model, an innovative approach that not only honors VCFA's long-standing tradition of providing immersive, mentor-led learning experiences, but also ensures flexibility and accessibility for community-based artists and scholars. And as previously mentioned, the partnership with CalArts represents another cornerstone of his leadership. By affiliating with one of the nation's leading arts institutions, we have secured additional resources and opportunities for our students and faculty while preserving VCFA's unique identity and mission. With all of these accomplishments in mind, and with enthusiastic support from the VCFA faculty, staff, and alumnus, the Board of Trustees, at their December 10th, 2024 meeting, voted by unanimous resolution to appoint Andrew Ramsamy as the permanent president of Vermont College of Fine Arts. Andrew has the board's unwavering support and believes that with him at the helm, VCFA is poised to embark on its next chapter, grounded in its mission to foster growth of transformative artists, writers, and scholars who will help shape the cultural landscape of tomorrow. Now, lastly, I received the following message from Mike Goldstein, who's chair of the VCFA Board of Trustees, to give Andrew and all of you gathered here today. He says, and I quote, "As chair of the Board of Trustees, it is my great pleasure to welcome you, Andrew, as our third permanent president. It is with deep regret that I cannot be present at this ceremony. Sorry. But I am confident that my colleagues will confer all of the appropriate honors. You are a most worthy successor with the imagination, the dreams, and the skills to accomplish our collective future. Best regards to you and to all those assembled." So, without further ado, it is my honor and the honor of all the members of the Board of Trustees to officially welcome Andrew Ramsamy as president of the Vermont College of Fine Arts.
You know, it wasn't up until that moment that I didn't think I was president, but I guess now I am. Thank you, Mike Goldstein and Vice Chair Siobhan Marshall for that warm welcome. And good evening to everyone here, esteemed faculty, students, alumnics, trustees, and cherished friends of the Vermont College of Fine Arts. I also want to acknowledge and extend a special welcome to our extended CalArts family. Ann Weems, Vice President of Marketing and Communications, Michael Elgarico, Vice President of Enrollment Management, and Siobhan Totten-Gardner, Executive Director of Admissions. It is with immense gratitude and humility that I stand here before you today as VCFA's third president. It's not just an honor, it's a profound responsibility, one that I accept with deep commitment to each and every one of you and to the future of this remarkable institution. Today, we gather at this convocation under the theme of activation. It is a word that brims with energy and possibility. Activation is the spark of what can transform thought into action, vision into creation, potential into impact. It is deeply personal and yet undeniably universal. As we gather here today under this theme, I'm reminded that no activation truly is ever individual. We are all shaped by the communities we inhabit, the people who walk with us, the stories we carry together. This is why I was so moved by the words of Alberto Rios in his poem, "We Are of a Tribe." We are of a tribe, a star tribe. We are of a circle and a line, the ellipse, the spiral, and the helix. We are of a tribe that made the spear, and also the word for spear, that moved the spear. One man may throw, but another will know and ask the word for it. Rios captures something profound about what it means to be human, the interconnectedness of our actions, our words, and our stories. One person may throw the spear, take action, create something, lead, but another must name it, understand it, and carry it forward. We are not separate. We are a tribe, bound together by the acts, the ways we think, the ways we speak, and the ways we dream. Now, little Andrew's recitation of this poem is not just a proud moment for me as his father, but it's also a reminder of the fundamental truth that drives everything we do at VCFA. Art is not created in isolation. It exists in dialogue with others, in community, and in shared meaning. It calls us to understand ourselves as a part of something larger, more than any one of us, to recognize that our creativity is an inheritance from the past and a gift to the future. VCFA is its own tribe. We are a community of artists, writers, musicians, and storytellers who have chosen to shape the world through creativity. And like the tribe in Rios's poem, we are bound together by action and language, by what we create and how we make sense of it. And for me, activation has always felt like a whisper from something greater, a divine nudge, perhaps from God. Or for me, it was that almost daily conversation on the number 7 train on the way into Manhattan with my mother, Martha. It is that still, small voice urging us to imagine, to create, and to connect. One of my earliest activations came in an unlikely moment. I was in the 3rd grade when my mom's boss gave her 2 tickets to a Broadway show he couldn't attend. That evening, my mom and I sat together in the 3rd row, dead center, at the Helen Hayes Theater. The show was The Nerd, a comedy filled with wit and heart, starring some guy named Mark Hamill. As the lights dimmed and the first words were spoken on stage, something shifted within me. For 2+ hours, the outside world disappeared. I was no longer just a child in a seat. I was inside the story, transported and transformed. That night, I experienced the transcendence of art, the way that it bridges the earthly and the eternal, the personal and the universal. That moment sparked in me, and it has never faded. Another major activation happened years later at the Phoenix Film Festival. Now, I don't know where most of you find your spouses, but for me, it was there. And in the midst of what can only be described as a complete clusterfuck. The festival was pure chaos, plans falling apart, an opening night film that was missing, confusion everywhere. But as often as occurs, I heard that inner voice say, "You got this. Make sense of the chaos." And I did. But in the midst of making sense of all of it, something extraordinary happened. I met Angela. Little did I know that 4 months later, after setting eyes on her beautiful blue eyes, we would wed. And ironically, both of us weren't supposed to be there that day, but because we were both volunteers. But what it became was transformative. This July, Angela and I will celebrate 23 years together. Yes. She deserves more than rubies. Her unwavering support, her belief in me, and her partnership have been amongst the greatest activations of my life. And it began with an idle moment, a call to volunteer for this chaotic festival. Life changed bigly. Thank you, Angela. Decades later, I witnessed the same spark of activation in someone else. In the summer of 2023, my son Andrew joined me in Colorado at our residency. And on our first night, we attended a music composition showcase. During the performance, Andrew's eyes were drawn to a musician, Brandon Lopez. Brandon Lopez, are you here? He's in Jamaica. Well, Brandon was playing a double bass that evening, and little Andrew, to say the least, was captivated. His wonder palpable. That moment became an activation for him. Today, Andrew is in the 6th grade playing double bass himself. Angela and I have become his personal roadies, helping him transport his larger-than-him instrument to school and to performances. But it is a joy, a privilege to witness how a single moment of exposure awakens something profound within him. You see, that's what art does. It activates us. It calls us to something higher, something deeper. Art connects us to the divine, whatever form that takes us in. It is both deeply spiritual and profoundly human. One final and most magical activation comes to mind. On Friday, January 26th, 2024, I walked onto this campus along with Mary Kim Arnold, Katie Rasmussen, Adam McComber, Lisa Mezzacappa, James Che, Mario Ontiveros, Evan Griffith, and Rafael Adias. At that moment, the future of VCFA was uncertain, precarious even. But something shifted that day. A new vision began to take shape. Now on this day, January 3rd, 2025, exactly 343 days later, we stand here together, activated by a shared determination with Cal Arts to build VCFA's future with purpose, creativity, and resolve. And what a moment it is. But as we step into 2025, we carry the weight of the world, filled with uncertainty and unrest. We face leaders who seek to strip away the culture that gives us hope, replacing it with despair and contempt. But in moments like this, art must rise. Recently, I was watching the extraordinary documentary Going to Mars about poet Nikki Giovanni, who sadly and unfortunately recently passed away. And by the way, we are actually screening that film here at Residency with a Q&A to follow with filmmaker Michelle Stevenson. In the documentary, Nikki speaks to a packed crowd at New York's Apollo Theater, reflecting on her role as a poet and storyteller. And she says, quote, "When all, for a lack of a better word, the shit hits the fan, you're still gonna stand up and do the right thing. And it is our duty to tell that story." That word, duty, rings in my ears today, because that is what this moment demands. A duty to stand, a duty to create, a duty to resist, and a duty to tell our stories, no matter how difficult, no matter the obstacles. So to everyone in this room and online, do you hear that call? Do you accept this activation? Will you stand up, do the right thing, and tell your story? That is the duty before you. That is the duty before us. That is the duty before me. As we embrace this duty, I want to share my vision for VCFA's future, a future that is vibrant, purposeful, and unapologetically creative. To be unapologetically creative is to embrace boundless potential of our imaginations, to honor the truths we carry within us, and to create without fear or compromise. It is a mindset that celebrates risk-taking, defends the necessity of art, and asserts that creativity is not just a skill, it is a way of life, a way of seeing, and a way of transforming the world around us. But being unapologetically creative is not just about the individual artist. It is also about what art makes possible in the broader world. Creativity sits at the heart of so many pressing issues of our time, and VCFA must be a leader in those conversations. So this will mean deepening our exploration of art and social justice, where creativity is a tool for challenging inequities, amplifying marginalized voices, and imagining new ways of being together in the world. Art and democracy, where stories, images, music, movements inspire civic engagement, sustain hope, and defend freedom against forces that seek to silence it. Art and commerce, where entrepreneurship empowers artists to shape their own futures, to turn their visions into livelihoods, and to make culture central to economic life. Art and technology, especially as artificial intelligence becomes an increasingly prominent force. As artists, we must approach AI with both curiosity and critical thinking, understanding its potential to enhance creativity while remaining vigilant about its challenges. Our role is to ensure that technology serves as a tool for empowerment, not as a substitute for depth, humanity, and imagination that only artists can bring. Art and lifelong learning, where creativity fuels the growth of people from across generations, from baby boomers to veterans, from creative seekers to educators, empowering them to explore, adapt, and thrive throughout their lives. And art and VCFA's boundaryless model, where creativity is not confined to traditional structures or borders, but instead exists across disciplines, geographies, and modalities. This model invites new ways of thinking, learning, collaborating, and ensuring that VCFA's community remains connected and vibrant, no matter where they are in the world. This is a moment for VCFA to activate bold ideas, and we are uniquely positioned to do so. Our new residency here in California gives us a vantage point from which we can engage with the innovations and challenges of this era while remaining deeply connected to our roots in Vermont. Vermont shaped us, a place of mountains, rivers, and a commitment to independent thought. California challenges us, a place of dynamism, diversity, and technological possibility. The tension between both of those identities is not a problem. It's a gift. Together, these places ground us and propel us forward, reminding us that the best art comes from holding both history and the future in our hands. So this is a moment to embrace that balance. And as a part of this vision, I want to emphasize the importance of listening. While I have the honor of leading VCFA, our future must be shaped by the collective wisdom of this community. This is why I will embark on a listening tour with students, faculty, staff, alumnics, and our broader VCFA network. Starting immediately after this residency, surveys will be sent out to every member of our community, inviting them for their thoughts, dreams, and ideas for our future. I want to hear your voices. Now, while not every idea will turn into action, this collective dialogue will help us guide us as we shape the next chapter for VCFA. Finally, I want to acknowledge the seriousness of the moment that we're in, not just for VCFA, but for higher education as a whole. We are navigating a rapidly shifting landscape, one where institutions are being forced to adapt or face existential challenges. The past year alone has seen unprecedented closures, underscoring the urgency for decisive action, bold leadership, and a commitment to transcend the status quo. I take this responsibility with the utmost gravity. Leading VCFA forward will require us to confront the challenges head on. It will demand courage, creativity, and willingness to make hard decisions, which we've already demonstrated. This is not a moment to retreat or maintain the status quo. It is a moment to reimagine, innovate, and ensure that VCFA not only survives, but thrives sustainably. VCFA's strength lies in its commitment to creative excellence and its resilience as a community. Together, we will build a unique foundation to position this creative institution as a model for what higher education should be in the 21st century. So this will require us to lead with vision, ensuring that every decision we make aligns with our mission to empower artists to shape the world, to act with decisiveness, boldly addressing the challenges before us while remaining nimble enough to adapt to an ever-changing landscape, to inspire with courage, showing that VCFA is not only just reacting to the moment, but leading the way forward. Now look, this will not be easy work, but it is vital work. And I deeply believe in the community. I deeply believe in what VCFA represents. And together we will rise. We will rise above the challenges. We will forge a future that reflects our values, our creativity, and our commitment to building an inclusive world. Together, we will ensure that VCFA thrives as a beacon of unapologetic creativity, a place where visionaries build a just future. Our new home here at Cal Arts represents more than just a physical relocation. It symbolizes partnership, a shared commitment to creativity, and a dynamic connection between our history in Vermont and our future here in California. Cal Arts is a place rooted in bold experimentation and artistic innovation, values that align deeply with VCFA's mission. This collaboration marks the beginning of a new era to VCFA. And as we honor our Vermont roots, the mountains that grounded us, the independence that shaped us, We now step into California's boundless energy, its diversity, and its spirit of exploration. This is our opportunity to bridge the past and the future, to create an institution that thrives in a unique intersection of places, ideas, and possibilities. Before I close, I want to take a moment to honor those who have preceded me, whose leadership has brought VCFA to where it is today. I'm deeply grateful to Tom Green and Leslie Ward, who have served this institution with vision, dedication, and unwavering commitment to our mission. As presidents emeriti, their legacies are woven into the fabric of VCFA. Tom's bold leadership helped lay the foundation for its deep commitment to creativity and community. Leslie's thoughtful and steady guidance ensure that VCFA continued to thrive, even in challenging times, and to this renewed emergence. And on a very personal note, I want to thank Leslie for believing in me and for inviting me to join the Board of Trustees. It was her encouragement and her trust that led me to step in as interim president, a role that now has profoundly deepened my connection to this extraordinary institution. Leslie's invitation in many ways was an activation of its own, calling me to serve and to help shape the future of VCFA, and now as the school's third president. Their leadership reminds us that in every chapter, our history builds on the last, and I'm honored to follow in their footsteps. Tom and Leslie, thank you for your vision, your courage, and your unwavering dedication to our community. So to all of you gathered here today and online, thank you. Thank you for trusting me with this responsibility. I am ready to embark on this shared journey with you, to listen, to act, and to rise together. Let us create, let us innovate, and let us do so unapologetically. Thank you.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees, as a symbol of thanks and excitement about your future, I want to present you with this framed copy of the resolution for your appointment and say, congratulations, Mr. President. Thank you.
Really is a wonderful and historic day for VCFA. Before we all adjourn, I would like to take a few minutes to recognize our community members assembled here today. This is sort of the closest that an art school gets to a pep rally, I think. So each and every one of you here are vital to the mission and to the spirit and momentum of the college. So first, I'd like to welcome back the members of our academic council. And if you want to wave or stand just to be recognized so we can cheer for you, that would be wonderful. Maria Cohn in film and program director Rafael Atias. James Che in graphic design and program director Carrie Welly. Carla Kilstedt and Roger Zahab in music composition and program director Carol Beatty. Eshrat Irfanian and Mario Ontiveros in visual art and program director Carrie Welly again. Adam McGomber and Sue Silverman in writing and program director Sam Jacobson. And last but never least, Linda Urban in writing for children and young adults and program director Brandon Brown. And welcome back to all our returning faculty. If you can stand or wave to be acknowledged. We have new faculty joining us for the first time in film and in graphic design. Welcome to you all. Are you here? To our graduate assistants who are truly the life force of our residencies. To any other VCFA alumnus who are joining us today, here or in the crowd. And to our graduating students, congratulations on all of your efforts and on joining the ranks of our alumni. And to our returning students as well, welcome back, and we are so glad that you are here. And last, but certainly not least, to the members of the VCFA staff who have worked tirelessly to ensure that everything you experience during this residency is as welcoming and joyful as possible, so that we can make the most of these days we have together as artists and makers, as dreamers and idealists, as colleagues and friends. Thank you to the staff. And this concludes the formal part of our convocation. You'll notice that on the programs, it says immediately following into a reception, but we will actually be gathering back here at 7 p.m. So go have dinner and join us back here at 7, and we can all toast our new president. Thanks.